Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Jabo speaking to you. I got to get my fitness app going. There we go. I got my fitness app going. Make sure I'm recording. And I am. All right, so I am in a different neighborhood for this walk. This isn't a woods walk gun talk, obviously, but I am going to have a lot of cool stuff today as we look at the paw prints telling us we can cross. We are down here in the old neighborhood that has seen better days. And we're just going to walk around, see what's going on. I found a place to park where I can park for 2 hours without getting a ticket, which is good. We're on Park Street. Got something nice to show everybody today. So anyway, we're on Park Street right now. This place here used to be Victor News. They called it that because it was a newsstand where you could get your latest comic books and newspapers or magazines, sometimes adult magazines. I don't know what it is now, but it's got a broken window because this neighborhood is run down. The window got smashed. Grew up in this neighborhood and it was nice, and now it's not. And that seems to happen in a lot of places run by Democrats. So I am carrying protection since it's legal to do so. A lot of times the public speakers will come here. It's a place that's okay for that, and spew their propaganda. And for you people into politics, I'll show you something up here. Congressman Jared Golden has an office down here as well. And amazing how these politicians always stick their offices in poor neighborhoods. As you can see, nobody says anything anymore. Everybody's mad and upset. And of course, we have the Maine District Court right here. So the real reason why I came down here, you'll see shortly. Lewiston Museum of the Streets. This is definitely a keep your head on a swivel neighborhood. So I'm going to cross over here. And we got this place over here called the Rainbow Bicycle, which used to be a music store. That's where I bought my first guitar, actually. And right in that store was a Gibson SG, the one I told you about a couple walks back. And we have some art on the building, which actually looks kind of nice. Haven't been down this way for quite a while. So anyway, this is Maine District Court, which used to be a music hall. So, and here we have the office of Susan M. Collins, United States Senator. Useless. A useless independent. So we're going to walk down this way. I got stuff to show you. The battery should last about an hour and a half. I brought a backup camera and also brought my backup iPhone to get better video quality, and it actually has a pretty good built-in stabilizer. Then we have another cannabis shop. I was telling you about that. We have cannabis shops all over the place here because people just sit around smoking pot all day, I guess. So hi, how are you? See, there's another one. Cannabis dispensary. So anyway, this is Lisbon Street in Lewiston. We have the Lewiston Strong, which commemorates the mass shooting we had. No loitering. J. Dosty Jeweler is still there. That's been there since I was a wee little kid. That used to be Peck's department store. That is now the LL Bean distribution center. They do a lot of the mail order LL Bean. Now we're going to walk down and head towards Auburn. This is Canal Street, which down this way we have a Somali mosque, and these Somalis meet up here. They congregate. And we got a canal here, which is part of the old industrial part of Lewiston. You can see down in there. And the industrial part of Lewiston used to be all textile mills, which those have been converted now. You got businesses in them. But this is all mainly was built Civil War era and before. And the main function of one of these buildings here was to manufacture blankets for the Civil War for soldiers. They made tons and tons of blankets. I believe they made tent awning, things like that. So this went into high gear during the Civil War. Made a lot of money for this area because war makes money, as we know. As we are currently watching the Fools in DC get us into another one. So anyway, this never froze good enough to play ice hockey on because it's always pretty swift moving current under there. It's not safe. But they do drain that once in a while, and my brother and I, on more than one occasion upstream here, would go fill up shopping carts with empty bottles when we were young teenagers and we had extra money to go play in the video game arcades. So that was a lot of fun. Have a lot of good memories doing that. And you know, you always have to remember that they got to greet people driving into Lewiston with nothing as grandiose as welcome, you're gonna love it here. No, it just says hopeful. Well, Lewiston's been hopeful for a long time, and I guess there's a lot more hoping has to happen. So anyway, we're gonna head down towards that park. It is a Veterans Memorial Park, and this is a Veterans Memorial Bridge that goes over the river. We're gonna visit the park, and then we're gonna take a walk across the bridge into Auburn, if it's open. I think it is. But I wanted to come look down here because we had some pretty bad flooding back in December, and also in November, with all the rain we had. And you can see how a lot of this is the old depressed industrial city of brick that businesses end up all moving to Auburn across the river. Basically, they get a better tax break, they have a better infrastructure, highway systems, things like that. So they try to offer things like free public parking overnight, certain hours of the day. And I think we're gonna find a way to scoot across here when we get a break in the traffic. There's a place on the corner there where a lot of people line up to protest, like when we had the Black Lives Matter protest. We also protested there because what happened was, it was July in 2020 and they canceled the fireworks display because of the pandemic. So a bunch of us came down here with flags, and we were waving the flags around on July 4th, and I had a bullhorn. It was a lot of fun. I stood right on the corner there where that truck is, reminding everybody we were Americans and having a good time. It was really nice, and every once in a while you get a car go by with people under 30 or under 25, and because we were holding American flags, somehow we were racist, and they would yell Black Lives Matter at us, which was ridiculous, obviously. But anyway, this entire thing down here was all flooded with water. This was all flooded. So I wanted to come down and see how it looks. It looks like it's okay. We got a fighter jet, Vietnam era, it looks like. We could get in that and take off if we want to. I got this Lewiston LA Strong, and can't really see it today, but this is usually a pretty good running waterfall, and there's a lot of ice and snow on it, and it's not flowing like it should be. There used to be a big giant mill here that burned. That was a huge fire. And so let's take a look at the airplane. So the floodwater was right up over the top of those bottom wheels. So the water was right up here. It says Ohio on the tail. Air National Guard of Ohio. Obviously donated. Pretty cool. Hope you're enjoying my walk today. Let's get the tiger mouth on the front there, or shark mouth. That's pretty neat. We got a tank. How cool is this? Now this wasn't here the last time I came here, but the jet plane was. And it's an A7 Corsair, it says. And you know, during the war, those were in service. Gotta find a way to traverse across here without falling, breaking my can. We'll take a look at the veteran memorial stones over here. Those all got flooded, so it's nice to see those survived. They still have some cones over there because that Jeep looks like it's fallen over. So that must have been damaged from the flood water. So anyway, look at this cool tank. They have the front of it blocked up. How'd you like to be on the battlefield and see this coming at you? Even an old tank like this. That's amazing. It's got icicles underneath it, dripping off. Very cool. I'm gonna check to make sure I'm still recording. I do not want to make sure, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. And we are. So anyways, you can see the size of the tracks on these. And growing up, I always loved tanks. I used to buy those German Panzer tank model kits. I used to love making military models. Made an aircraft carrier once that was really cool. Had all the little planes on the deck. You got to put them where you wanted. Wow, look at this thing. That is super cool. I'm gonna clean this stick off here. Wow. Pretty awesome. I'm not gonna climb up on it. See, what do we got? All right, let's walk through the stones in memorial. No bicycles, skateboards, or rollerblades. All right, so these are people that have fallen. Actually, I'm gonna go up here first and look at this stone that greets you when you come to the park, and then we'll come back down here. And we came here before when Republican Adrienne Bennett was running for Congress. So we came down here to stump for her in 2020, towards the end of it. And what was funny about that is we had flags, and some people had Trump flags. She was a Trump supporter. Somebody called the police on us and said that we had firearms and we were causing troubles. So of course the police showed up, and then they found out it was somebody running for Congress. But those are the shenanigans that these liberals play without realizing somebody could get killed. And of course some of us had firearms on us. A friend of ours that came to this had his firearm in a holster open, which is legal. And the police officers just looked at it and paid no mind of it. It's not illegal. So anyway, here's this nice stone statue here in honor of all who served. Veterans Memorial Park. That's a very nice monument. And we have the various flags: Space Force, Marines, Air Force, and of course the grand old lady United States flag. So now we're going to go down and go through the stones. I just wanted to get the beginning of that. And this is Lewiston, Maine, if you're wondering, if you're just tuning in the USA. Let's go down this way. We have had some snow. They haven't cleaned the snow here. And members who served 2001 to 2008, LA Veterans Council, formerly known as Heritage Park, was renamed by the city of Lewiston Veterans Memorial Park, and I agree with renaming it. That's a great name they chose. So it's a nice place to hang out in the summer. So we're gonna walk down this way, and we have this stone here, which is still a little tarnished. I think it got flooded up this way. Erected by the citizens of Lewiston in honor of the men and women who served in the armed forces during the World Wars and Korean conflict and Vietnam War and future wars and conflicts, which they are steadfastly building some future wars right now, stupidly. People got to go out and vote, man, I'm telling you. Get off your can and vote. You absolutely have to. The situation could not be more dire than it is now. So we have these wonderful people who sacrificed their lives for us. 2003. Must have been in Iraq. Proud to be an American. God bless my family, my home, and my country. Korea. Look at that. So we got all these people who had their lives disrupted on our behalf, so I can walk through a park free. We got definition of abbreviations. I don't know if you could see that. It tells you all these USAF, United States Air Force. A lot of people know this stuff already. Global War on Terror, GWOT. It just tells you what all these symbols on these stones mean. So, very nice that they have this here. A lot of Franco-Americans. Gagnon, Denis, Vachon, Pelletier, which is Pelletier, French, Levellier, Lemieux, Armand Lemieux, Gardner, Turgeon, Moret, Dubois. Wow. Too many. Too damn many. Civil Air Patrol. I know one of the names on this list. It's one of my cousins. I'm not going to say what that is, because I don't want people to track me down. There's too many people online that aren't very friendly to conservatives, so you don't want to dox yourself. But he was on that list. So now we got these cones here, a little bit of ice. We got a cannon here, it was lopsided. They obviously got washed out a little bit by the water. They're probably gonna wait till spring and fix that. We got this whole thing here that looks precarious. Looks like water washed out a lot of that foundation. Must have been coming in here and swirling. So that looks like it's unsafe and could fall over. I don't know what that is inside there. I don't know if somebody went in there and ate something. A homeless person was living in it. That's bizarre. Flashcards. There's something in there. That's really bizarre. So this is the Memorial Park down here. I just wanted to come down here and show you all. This is the Androscoggin River. When I was a kid, this river was so polluted and filthy from the textile mills and the paper mills upstream. It had a lot of toxic heavy metals. There was no oxygen in the water, so everything that was living died in it. And now it's got life back in it. They've cleaned up a lot of it. There used to be big giant cakes of pollution pooled up. It smelled really bad. In the summertime, it was just awful. So, you know, when people want to clean up pollution, I don't have a problem with that. But when they start screaming about climate change and there's a whole nother agenda just to pool everybody's money and make people in DC rich, I have a problem with that. It's like this country has an opportunity to fix all that stuff, and instead it all goes to corruption. And it's really a sad thing. And it's not just the Democrats, it's the Republicans too. There's just a lot of corruption in DC, and it needs to be fixed. And they keep everybody occupied with us versus them, us versus them. And so we did manage to clean some stuff up here, at least. So anyways, they got to fix this, obviously. I think they'd have to use a crane to fix that, I would think. I don't know how they could fix that other than lifting it out of there and refilling this or something. I have no idea how they could fix that. But that is definitely not safe. So, floods will do that. And before people go screaming climate change, flood, 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 this has been flooding down here forever and a week. And we had bad floods down here 50 years ago. We'll have bad flooding 50 years from now. There's photographs online with water underneath that very top of the bridge, water just going underneath the top. That happened in 1984, I want to say, 86. I actually have a book at home, The Flood of, I think it was 86 or 87. It was 87, that's what it was. The Flood of 1987. All right, so we're gonna go up here, walk across the bridge, see what we see. I just wanted to get this on video. I'm glad I did. I want to go on a platform that looks over the waterfalls, but we don't have very much waterfalls to look at. But we might still have a good view. These waterfalls were raging when it was flooding. All right. Now we're going to walk across. Phone has told me that I walked 1 mile in 29 minutes. So this is another bridge that we came to protest on. If you haven't noticed, I get pretty involved in politics. It was during the pandemic. Our governor was, so we look down here. Our governor was in the annual parade that goes through here. And she had ended a whole bunch of people's careers by forcing them to get a COVID vaccine without the religious exemption. She took that away. So, hi, how you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Not too bad. So we came down this way and protested. Yelled a whole bunch of vile things at her. Oh, we got a tire there. Looks like somebody trucked the tire over. See that? So there's the Great Falls in Lewiston, Auburn. That's always on the postcards. And when that ice is all melted in the summertime, there's waterfalls. But it's all frozen right now. You can see some water running through. But we're gonna take a walk over there and take a look at it. And we got an old pedestrian crossing over that way. That pedestrian crossing is an old train trestle. I don't know if you could see that back there. Probably. You could just walk right across the river on that. No trains use it anymore, so it's safe. And when I used to work in Lewiston and I lived in Auburn over here, I used to walk across that or take my bike every morning to go to work. And I remember one time I was coming home from work, it was real windy, and somebody had a hot air balloon out here. And that hot air balloon, it was windy that day. And I saw that hot air balloon bounce off that bank building. And the bottom basket was spinning around, and it came down and landed in the water. And nobody got killed or died, but that was the first thing I thought was, man, it is extremely windy today. Who the hell would be dumb enough to go up in a balloon? Well, there he was. I don't know if you need a license to do that or what, but that was really stupid. So now we're going to come across the bridge into a different planet, the city of Auburn. The city of Auburn has cool things like beer pubs. They brew a brewery. They brew some home beer over here. It's marketed. There used to be a restaurant business in there, but that was a victim of the pandemic, and it's still empty, it looks like. So anyway, we're gonna walk up this way. Auburn Post Office is over here. Other stuff. There's a Hilton Hotel, Garden Inn. TD Bank, the same scum-sucking SOBs that stole Canadians' money that donated to the trucker convoy. They will not be forgiven for that. So this is the Auburn side. We were just over there with the jet plane. Hope you're enjoying the walk today. Everything is melting a little bit. It's about 33 degrees. We were supposed to get a little bit of sunshine today, but it doesn't look like it's coming out till later. And we're gonna go shooting tomorrow. And we should have pretty decent weather. Same temperatures as today, about low 30s, but we'll have sunshine tomorrow. Today is Friday, Friday, best day of the week. So that used to be Central Maine Power hydro generating project. I think it still does that. And I'm not really too sure on that, to be honest with you. They still have the dam there. The dam is still there. Now let me tell you, when we had those floods in the 80s and I came down here, I took actual photographs on film, which I still have in a shoebox somewhere in my closet. You couldn't see the rocks. It was just water flowing over the top and this giant roaring rumble, which you can imagine. And when my brother and I used to skip school, sometimes we'd cross underneath the trestle over there, would walk on the catwalk underneath, which you weren't supposed to do. I actually had the police pick us up one day for doing that. We also had a dartboard, which we probably shouldn't have had. I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. But kids will be kids. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, it's not a bad day today. Still got something hung up in the tree there from the floodwaters. I don't know what it is. Hope it's not a carcass of anything. Got some ducks swimming around there. Some mallards. So this is a nice place here. The Hilton Hotel. That is a housing unit, apartment building. You got trees on the way. You live in an apartment building like that and you can't even see this view because they got those trees. Maybe you could see through the trees over here anyway. Got some water flowing there. We're going to take a walk up there to the top of those waterfalls. And we got they've done a lot of good things around here for the LA Museum, you know, making these poster boards explaining these historical, you know, places that people don't know about, you know, like Roque Block, Edward Little House, you know. So there was a lot of things going on here in the 1800s. And like I said, a lot of it was fueled by Civil War. Money, you know. So Lewiston is one of those industrial towns that tried its best not to fade away, but Lewiston is the second largest city in Maine, and with Auburn makes the second most populated area in Maine. So it's got a foothold here. Well, I could see some of that fence over there got broken. Or it's made that way. We'll find out when we go over. I can't imagine it's made that way. Now, they had a problem in this park a few years ago. I think they cleaned it up. But there were people coming over here with lewd behavior sexually that were gay. I'm not criticizing gays, I'm just saying they were doing that over here. And that got put an end to pretty quick. And then we get some more of this diversity propaganda. But got a sign here that says park watch. I want to let people know it's being watched. Drug-free safe zone, see? They've increased penalties for drug crimes because people used to come over here and shoot drugs and do drugs. And that is a problem everybody's aware of. They found a couple of people dead up here from overdosing on drugs. And it's really a sad thing to see how much society has fallen. West Pitch Park, donated by Central Maine Power, 1989. So this has been here since I was a youngster. 1989, I was 21. Lewiston Falls Station Recreation. You got a boat launch, camping, picnic area, restroom, parking, fishing access. It's along the river. Oh, let's see what they have up here. It's been quite a few years since I've been up here. Hopefully it looks good. All right, so we're walking up here in Auburn in this park. Overlooks the river. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm starting to sweat. There's footprints going up there. I don't know what's up there. Maybe we'll take a look. Maybe we'll be afraid to. This is Lewiston, Auburn, after all. I see dog paws. Some more walking up this way. But I wanted to go down here by this platform so you could see the waterfalls while the water is falling. Isn't this cool? That looks like a very dead squirrel. Yep. Well, you know, in Lewiston, Auburn, you're there because when you go to look at something, you get greeted by death. Some waterfall going there. We'll go on this platform and take a look. Auburn, Maine, museum in the streets. They used to run logs down here. Log drives. That usually is a dam that has water flowing over it when it's not winter time. Kind of like that one underneath that train trestle. The train trestle is still in service for trains, so we may see a train cross it. Warning, passage beyond this point is extremely dangerous. No trespassing on dams and mid-river ledges. When sirens sound, water will rise immediately. And I have to be honest, I don't know what the deal is with all these padlocks. People bring padlocks here. I really don't know the significance of that. I need to look that up. Are there any messages on them? The people's names. Oh, that's interesting. Well, see? You go out and look in your neighborhood and you find things to look at. So we have a Tanya and Amber with a heart. I don't know if that's somebody died or somebody in love with each other or what. I have no idea what these are here for. Kim and Shane. Well, I'm going to have to look up the deal with these locks because obviously there's a reason. If you know what the reason is, let me know in the comments. But more than likely, I will be researching that to find out. We're still recording. I have to check it. So anyway, how cool is that? We got a lot of padlocks here. A lot of them are pretty rusted. Some of them still look kind of new. I'm going to find out what it's for. You can see some people were kicking the fence here because people like to kick things and try to break things, and nobody knows why. There's no respect anymore. But anyway, as you can see, there's some waterfalls going on there. And when we get a lot of rain and this is really raging, the water comes up to here, where we can see this here. And that is all just gushing and really rushing water. You can't talk because you can't hear yourself. It's like a loud roaring. So we obviously don't have that today. And this was all flooded. So all of this that you're looking at here, you weren't able to see any of the rocks. It was just covered in water running over the falls, as I saw from news footage. So anyway, I just wanted to come up here and take a look. Hope you enjoy it. Looks like somebody had a nip, some alcohol up here. So anyway, there's that. So now we're going to take a walk up this way, see what we see. There's a trail up here. Water may be released suddenly, causing certain death. Danger. So it's kind of like the old Barker-Mill Dam. We'll probably be taking a walk up that way this spring when things thaw out. I think you'll like that. That's off the Little Androscoggin River, way across town that way. But they made a whole trail system through there with bicycle path and things like that. So they've done a lot of good things. There's a park bench up here. Let's go see the view from the park bench. And we have a fence here with the gate open. I don't know if it's supposed to be or not. Oh, I guess so. All right. Train tracks right here. So I'll take a look up here first. First thing I notice is we have a tent right here. Somebody set up some camouflage. So it might be a homeless tent. Might be people up to no good. Might be people that are okay. Behold. Oh, that's a pretty nice view, I think. Hope you're enjoying the view. As we look at the tent. Somebody's living in it in this kitty corner. They get it camouflaged so you can't see it, even though I saw it. Now I'm not going to walk across the train trestle. I would do that if I knew a train wasn't coming. But the problem with this train trestle is it doesn't have a railing. Well, actually it does. Should I chance it? There is a place in the middle that you could wait it out if you get stuck. We used to cross this when we were kids, when they didn't have a railing. But I'm not a kid anymore. I have a sense of mortality. Ah, screw it. Let's go. They got a railing. And they got a place I can sit in. That would actually make for some good film footage, I think. Looks like when they come across, they use that rail and not these. So I would have room. So we're gonna walk across the trestle. Whoa! A little slippery with the ice. So I hope you're enjoying the view. There's the Androscoggin River, as I'm looking to see if a train's coming, which there isn't. Very slippery ice right here. This is not thought out. I'm holding on to the railing. If a train comes by, I'm screwed. But there we have it. There's a nice view. There's that dam I was talking about. A lot of times there's water running over that. American Bridge Company. 1924. The plaque says 1924. Right there. So I'm going to get across this bridge. The good news is the trains don't come by here like screaming really fast. So I would have time to go somewhere, and I would hear it before it got here too, because you can hear that diesel engine. And also with those diesel engines, a lot of people think these are diesel powered trains. They actually run on electric motors. So you got this gap right here you got to be careful of. It goes straight down, see that? Don't want to fall down there. So we'll walk across here. Looks a little icy up ahead. Now we used to cross this when it was just like this. Okay, we used to walk right across that. Not this time of year with all this ice though. But I'm just saying. No trains coming yet. Hang on to this so I don't fall in one of these gaps and disappear. Hopefully you people online think this is funny, but this is an island we used to skip school on. You used to be able to jump down off it from the catwalk that goes underneath here. So now the thing is though, if a train came right now, I can't run across this because it's too slippery. So I would have to hope and pray. So I'm just going to hurry up, get to the other side so I don't have to deal with it. If it was the summertime, I wouldn't worry about it. think we're close enough now to the end. No train coming yet. Wonder what they're digging over there. Wonder if they're building a new building or something. Probably. There's always something going on in Auburn. Lewiston, it's like people leave Lewiston and go to Auburn. So you got Auburn, who has a Republican mayor. They're more conservative. They got construction going on. They kicked the homeless people out that were over there. They all come over here to Lewiston. And then in Lewiston, all you have is places that used to be businesses with for rent signs. Where anybody rents in here, they're destined to go broke. So that's the difference. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. And that Republican mayor in Auburn won by 150 votes. So that was not a cakewalk. And we almost had a Republican mayor in Lewiston, and he lost by 122 votes because people didn't go vote. We had a 16% voter turnout. So it's unfortunate. So we got this chunk of ice here. We'll show you how far down that is. Got this piece of wood. Pretty fast moving current. You got little whirlpools. That would be I could feel every vibration in this railing. I'd probably know a train was coming before I saw it. Anyway, I'm off the trestle now. I'm safe. You don't have to worry about J-Bo no more. Usually this is a lot more frozen. Usually in the wintertime, this is frozen and you could actually walk out on the ice because it's not fast moving water, but it's not as cold as it used to be. And it's also not climate change. It's, you know, there's been spurts that's done this in the past, and then we end up having like 7 or 8 brutal winters in a row. And the earth goes in cycles. People need to get used to that. So we're going to walk a little bit more here. I could hear something in the trees there. I've walked 2 miles today so far. I'm not going to do 5 miles today because I got to tell you, that last woods walk, gun talk number 10, that snow was really difficult to walk in. I walked 5 miles. I ended up walking 5 miles, but I'm seriously, it felt like 8. So we just did 57 minutes. I hit the 2 mile mark. So we're walking through here. This goes to Spring Street and Winter Street area in Lewiston. There was a company called Infab up on Spring Street. I worked there for about 3.5, 4 years. Insulation fabrication. Late 80s, early 90s. It really wasn't a good job. But I did a lot of, that's where I learned how to drive a forklift, and I did a lot of that. So when I started doing that, it was a lot better. But then the work dried up. There was no work. They kept telling people, if you want to go home, go home. And, you know, you end up missing a couple days a week and smaller checks, and people got grouchy. They ended up going out of business. They had a big contract for University of Massachusetts doing these prefabbed foam glass insulation wrapped in this tar stuff. So you'd have to take this insulation, roll it on a hot tar wheel, and there was no air conditioning in there, and a 95-degree summer day rolling stuff on hot tar, it was not enjoyable. So it was this stuff called pit wrap. Anyway, tons and tons of that went to the University of Massachusetts, and that was more hours than anybody knew what to do with. So you either were there doing nothing, or you were there working 60 hours a week. So, but it was all right. There was cool people there for the most part. A couple I haven't seen in years, and the foreman, I found out, is now in San Diego working for the Postal Service. He's about ready to retire, and he was older than me. So hope you enjoyed the walk today. I'm gonna go pick up my car. I parked over yonder in a place that had 2-hour parking. I've only used an hour, so a little over. I should still have my car there. There used to be this Rita meter maid. She went around in the Lewiston Police Department, little motorcycle thing with an enclosure, and you could not get by that person. If you were there longer than an hour, you would get a ticket. She worked there from when we were little kids all the way up until she retired. So I don't know who they have now. But yeah, better chances maybe of getting away with parking illegally without Rita. Parking maid hound from hell. So thank you for watching the channel. Click like and subscribe. And I really do enjoy doing these. I got some more planned coming up. There's a couple of walks that I definitely want to do. The problem is some of the places I go, it's tough to get 5 miles. And so I drive there, I walk, and then I leave there and go somewhere else and walk some more, and it's like 2 separate things. So it doesn't flow well when I make a video, but I definitely want to get the Barker Mill Dam and things like that. So keep an eye on those coming up on the channel. We also have gun videos coming up. We got the Firefly review and shooting video coming up shortly. Probably going to get the shooting video before the review, and we might not actually have that delivered this weekend in time to go shooting. So now I'm going to confuse everybody by walking by here the old-fashioned way, but just looking both ways before crossing. A lot of people push a button on a pole and they wait for permission to cross, which to me is just completely ridiculous. Learn some life skills, man. If you're over 18 and you can't cross a street without a sign telling you it's okay, there's something wrong. So this is another part of the poor, vandalized, broken. I'm sure somebody broke in there. A lot of unsavory looking part of town. So I would not want to be down here at night any longer, carrying or not. Now we get this Guthrie's restaurant down here. And we got another cannabis. So this is the, I believe this is the Roque block. That used to be a school. Now it's not. And I got parking garages over that way. cut across over here. Hopefully my car wasn't broken into. That would not make me happy. Oh, we got a happy looking fire hydrant. All right, well, good time as any. Well, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. And thank you very much. Have a beautiful weekend. By the time I upload this, it might be over. But anyway, I wish you well and your family. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks a lot. As we say goodbye to St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, which is a beautiful church. You can look that up. Google it. There's plenty of photographs. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, a couple of family members have had funerals there. Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful day.